Just hours ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis joined Ohio lawmakers at the State House to call for a change to the U.S. Constitution.
So they are pushing for a constitutional amendment for congressional term limits. They want to make it happen in a way that hasn't been used in the last 240 years.
10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash is live at the State House with what they're calling for and Ohio's role in this. Doug?
Well, Yolanda, states have never called for a constitutional convention since the founding fathers last met in 1787. Now, Ohio lawmakers want to hold one to call for an amendment on congressional term limits. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was here to support the effort.
It will change the incentives. You know you have a limited amount of time, so make something of it.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he's pushed for term limits for members of Congress for years. Ohio State Representative Heidi Workman says term limits are popular among Republican and Democratic voters.
Voters are tired of Washington politicians spending decades in office, disconnected from the people they are they're elected to serve.
Ohio is joining several other states in a push for term limits using a unique method. Workman introduced House Joint Resolution 3, calling for a constitutional convention of the states to propose an amendment on term limits. 2/3 of the states would have to sign on for a convention to be held. DeSantis believes building momentum could force Congress's hand without having to get support of 34 states.
If we get a dozen states to come on board pretty quickly, that momentum's there, and you get into the mid-20s, and then all of a sudden Congress is going to notice. It would be easier if Congress just wrote it and passed it because they can do 2/3 and immediately that goes to the states.
University of Cincinnati political science professor David Niven says just holding a convention for an amendment is no guarantee of success.
Anything a constitutional convention produces still needs to be ratified by 3/4 of the states.
Concerns have been raised that holding a constitutional convention could open the door to all kinds of changes to our governing document.
States can call for a constitutional convention for a particular purpose, but there's no guarantee that is what the Constitutional Convention focuses on or even brings up for that matter.
DeSantis says that is unlikely.
I don't think 38 states are going to ratify the work of a, quote, runaway convention.
Now, the House resolution calling for a constitutional convention is still in the very early stages. It has to work its way through the entire legislative process, including through committee hearings. Live at the State House, Doug Petcash, 10 TV News.